Starts now.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Dan Hagan. Today on Up North at 4, we meet a friend from Phelps, Wisconsin about next weekend's annual Maple Syrup Fest. Then Emily May from Minocqua joins us to talk once again about the wonders of mushrooms. We'll get to all of that in a bit, but first, here's your top 4 at 4. More women are running for Oneida County Board than ever before, including 2 looking to add a younger perspective. Diana Harris is a mother of 2 living in Pine Lake. She is running for District 9. Mariah King is a mother of 3 living in Rhinelander. She's running for District 1. Both said the time of the monthly board meeting may play a role in fewer women and younger people being on the board. The meetings are in the morning. Most county boards meet after working hours. Both Harris and King said the board should consider moving the meeting time to the evenings. We'll hear from these 2 candidates tonight at 5. While the winter weather is lasting into this spring, that doesn't mean your gardening should wait. Hanson's Garden Village in Rhinelander recommends starting a few plants inside. Tomatoes and bell pepper seeds can both work well in the house. Start them in a sanitized container in plant growth medium. And of course, you can always buy plants at places like Hanson's once the weather gets warmer. Some Walmarts across the country will stop selling cigarettes. This does not include locations in the Northwoods. The retail giant is making the change at specific locations on a store-by-store basis, according to the business and customer needs in each market. Health officials say 1 out of every 5 deaths in the U.S. each year are related to smoking. Walmart stopped selling vaping products and e-cigarettes in 2019. Other national retailers have previously gotten out of the tobacco business, including Target in 1996 and CVS in 2014. The Minocqua, Rhinelander, and Wausau Walmarts will all continue to sell cigarettes. The North Lakeland Discovery Center is hosting a few craft events in April. The Discovery Center, by the way, is a year-round nature-based education center just north of Manitowish Waters. On Saturday, April 9th, staff there will instruct people on making 6 eco-friendly dry balls made out of wool. These balls help soften clothes and decrease drying time in laundry machines without harmful chemicals typically found in fabric softener and dryer sheets. And then on Saturday, April 23rd, participants will get creative with an old pair of blue jeans and repurpose them into art. Visit discoverycenter.net/programs to register. Meteorologist Conrad Supinski joins us. Now, Conrad, winter just is not going away.
Yes, I know it's spring, but winter is still here. Right now, not looking too bad out there. Some sunny skies out here in Rhinelander and Eagle River as well, but that will be a complete different story by Wednesday morning. So get ready for some freezing rain back in the forecast. Right now, pretty cool temperatures out there as we are in the 20s and 30s, 29 in Rhinelander, so pretty much below freezing for most of the area out here, and that is why we still have a snow depth. But average temperatures this time of year are around 44, so we'll be well below that all week until next week when we start hitting some 40s. But for now, let's focus on that snow and freezing rain incoming in the next couple days. Right now, our radar is not showing much, just a little bit of clouds here and there, but for the most part, we are mostly sunny out here. And then the bigger picture does show our next weather system actually starting to form in Alberta, Canada right now. So it is starting to develop out there. It's going to get pretty strong with a lot of moisture with this one. We'll actually start out with some wintry mix to freezing rain overnight Tuesday night into Wednesday, and then it pretty much becomes all rain as temperatures actually are going to be above freezing. But then, hey, temperatures are going to be dropping back into the 20s, so snow is going to be on the backside of that. So this pretty clear radar right now will look real messy by Wednesday. And that is why we have some winter storm watches out there, pretty much mostly for that freezing rain into Wednesday morning. And then since we have that rain during the day, we will have another advisory, maybe a winter storm warning for Wednesday night into Thursday, but that will actually appear in the next 2 days. But for right now, temperatures will continue to drop into the teens, even around 13 by the morning hours tomorrow.
He's turned on working families again. Ron Johnson said no to bringing new jobs to Wisconsin. Now he's supporting the Republican plan that phases out Social Security and Medicare and increases taxes on middle-class families.
Time for Democrat Alex Lasry. Lasry says let's get more money into working people's pockets and cut their taxes. No wonder so many unions say Alex Lasry is the strongest Democrat to beat Ron Johnson.
I'm Alex Lasry, and I approve this message.
Do you have sleep apnea? Struggling with your CPAP? Ditch the mask and let New Horizons Sleep Solutions help you achieve your best night's sleep. Dr. James Block is your expert in oral appliance therapy, a simple, comfortable treatment for snoring and sleep apnea. If you have a CPAP machine that you're struggling to use, consider oral appliance therapy to improve your sleep and protect your health. Call today to schedule a complimentary consultation appointment and wake up to a new horizon in sleep apnea treatment.
It's Ford Truck Month, America. With new inventory arriving daily, it's time to get after it in a Ford F-150 and a Ford Ranger. Stop by your local Ford dealer today and let us help you custom order your truck your way. Then we'll get after building it. It's Ford Truck Month. Visit your local Ford dealer today. Order your F-150 to lock in 0% financing for 66 months and $500 cash, plus an extra $1,000 retailer order bonus.
Need a new boat or outboard? Then it's time to trade and upgrade with American Marine and Motorsports and Suzuki Outboards, because we need your old boat. We need to buy fishing boats, pontoons, and speedboats. So trade in your old one and upgrade into a new boat today. Come check out more boats and pontoons in stock than anywhere else in Wisconsin. Or we can help get you top dollar by selling your old boat on consignment. It's time to trade and upgrade with Suzuki Outboards and American Marine and Motorsports. Sean.
We're back in Up North at 4. Today I'm with Laura Bull from the Phelps Chamber of Commerce. Laura, how are you doing today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me, Dan.
Of course. I want to talk about Maple Syrup Fest because that's a big thing in Phelps. But first, I'm kind of curious by your story. How did you make your way up to Phelps, Wisconsin?
Sure. So I've lived in Phelps for 2 years now. So do the math on that. Pretty much right when COVID hit and my husband was able to work from home, we moved up permanently full-time to what used to be our seasonal home.
Okay, so you kind of wanted to get away from the city and go in a more rural place?
Yeah, it was just a great time to have a little bit more space outside. When you're stuck at home in lockdown, this was the place we wanted to be, not in a suburban environment.
Yeah,
and then we just stayed.
Well, you got a really exciting event coming up. Tell me about Maple Syrup Fest up in Phelps.
Yeah, so Maple Syrup Fest is this Saturday. It's a huge community event. It's one of our biggest events of the year in Phelps. So the fest runs 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. and breakfast starts as early as 8 a.m. So there's lots going on throughout the day for the fest. We have a huge craft fair with almost 50 vendors, and the craft fair has all kinds of cool stuff. There's homemade fishing lures, all kinds of jewelry, purses, clothing, home decor, metal garden art. We have lots of different vendors coming for that. So that's a big piece of it, and we haven't had that back since 2019. And then there's also a maple syrup judging contest where producers, if you haven't yet, bring your syrup to the fest, enter it in the contest. It's a great way to see how you stack up against the competition, so producers love that. That one's a lot of fun. And then there's a bunch of classes and demos that go throughout the day.
And I have to interrupt and say that meteorologist Devin Biggs will be one of the 3 judges for the maple syrup judging competition. So you're new to Maple Syrup Fest. Will this be your first one?
Yes, it will.
Okay, so do you kind of have a taste for maple syrup? Do you enjoy it personally? And I always think it'd be difficult to judge between maple syrups.
Sure, so I do love maple syrup, yes, and I've been learning just so much from our producers that help put on the fest just in the last couple of months about tree tapping and the process and the lingo, all of it. So that's been a lot of fun. Yeah, so the tasting part is kind of like anyone can do it, but we do have like a scientific team from Smoky Lake Maple that does the clarity and density portion. So you need to have the expertise to do that, and tasting is anyone can do, so that's the fun part.
Well, let's talk about the morning then. You said there's a breakfast. Can you tell me when that starts and where that is?
Yeah, everything is at Phelps School, except for the Sugarbush tours, which are at 4 local production in Phelps, but breakfast starts at 8 a.m. and Sunrise Lodge does the breakfast, so you know the food's going to be great. They're doing waffles, sausage, eggs, maple sticky buns, and then throughout the day they serve all kinds of maple treats, maple caramel corn, maple cookies, maple bread. So bring your sweet tooth, come hungry, and later in the day we'll switch to lunch with burgers and brats.
And you mentioned the Sugar Bush tours. I went to the fest a few years ago. I went to a maple syrup producer. How can people go to those sugar bushes?
Yeah, so come to Phelps School, pick up a punch card that will have the 4 locations and a little bit info about each of them. So it's a self-guided driving tour. So no buses as in past years, go at your own leisure, visit, meet the producers, see the production in action, see their sugar shacks and the whole process. So it's a really neat thing for learning.
So Laura, you came up to the Northwoods recently. You've had a cabin here for a while. How are you adjusting to Northwoods full-time? It's probably very different than the Chicago suburbs.
Yeah, it's been a great adjustment. I mean, it was so easy to come and stay. My family and I are just lovers of all things outdoors and outdoor recreation, the lakes, fishing. I'm a huge vegetable gardener, so I've got more space to do that, and it's been great. We just have a great community of friends and neighbors now. So.
Well, we're lucky to have you. Thanks so much,
Thanks.
Laura. And one last time, the Maple Syrup Fest is this Saturday in Phelps. Go to the Phelps School.
Yes.
And from there, you can go anywhere with the Maple Syrup Fest. Laura, thanks again for joining us.
Thanks, Dan.
Yep. All right, we'll be right back on the show. Emily May King, the mushroom expert, will be on in just a few minutes.
Welcome to today's Elite Money Minute with the Elite Advisor Team.
Hey, that's all right. Let's try one more time. You look a little rusty. Now this time, instead of aiming at the pins, let's aim at the arrows during your approach. That always seems to help me. Come on.
Wow, that really helped. I guess sometimes you need a new perspective on how to do things to create success.
Nice job.
Hey guys, it's no different than how we help our clients plan for retirement. Just because you made it to retirement doesn't mean things won't change. Many times you can benefit from a new perspective.
If you would like us to give you a new perspective on your retirement, give our office a call at 715-341-8899 and schedule a visit today. Or request a free copy of our book, Retirement, Be Prepared.
That's today's Elite Money Minute. Visit our website at retireidea.com.
Dairy farms disappearing, prices up, COVID's still not gone. And what's Ron Johnson done? Voted against new jobs and told us to take mouthwash to cure COVID. I'm Sarah Godlewski. I grew up in Eau Claire where we're more interested in common sense than conspiracies. That's how I've run the state treasurer's office, and common sense is what, quite frankly, we could use in Washington. Practical ideas that just help people, not mouthwash. I'm Sarah Godlewski, and that's why I approve this message.
Welcome to Lotus Salon and Spa. Enjoy a cup of coffee while in a friendly environment getting your hair and nails done. Lotus Salon and Spa is community-oriented, offers a wide array of services, and is an Aveda salon. Schedule your appointment online.
Cedar Creek Grillhouse, the area's newest restaurant, is now open. You bring the appetite, we'll bring the heat. Enjoy mouth-watering entrees for breakfast and dinner, prepared on a fire grill or wood-burning oven. Cedar Creek Grillhouse at the Holiday Inn and Suites, Rothschild.
Is a new roof on your spring to-do list? Hi, I'm Paul, owner of Overhead Solutions. Now is a great time to think ahead and secure a spot for that replacement on our schedule. Go ahead and call our competitors, but before you sign on that dotted line, call Overhead Solutions. I believe our high quality and fair price can beat our competition.
Call Overhead Solutions for a free roof estimate.
Remember, don't overpay. Call Overhead. Overhead Solutions.
We're back up north at 4 again with Emily May King from the Minocqua area, our mushroom expert. This is your third time on the show, and we're going to talk about mushrooms, of course. But first, we have to talk about this weekend, Emily May. Tell me about the big news.
Oh, we finally did it. We tied the knot. So during COVID, we were going to have a big wedding, and everything just kind of fell through, and we've been waiting, and finally we we just decided we're going down south and we're saying our I-dos.
And you went into the water too?
Oh, that here. I had micro festivities, so like we had mini celebrations throughout the last month or whatnot. And one of them, yes, I have my good friends, the Up North Cryofiles. So we love to go cold water dipping. So
yeah.
I said, why not? Let's do a bouquet toss in the icy waters. It was like 20 degrees out, 30 degrees water. It was great.
You're educating everyone about so many things, but let's focus on mushrooms from now on.
All right.
So let's just start with the slides here that we've prepared. We're talking about a couple different mushroom types, but also some tools and preparation. Yes. So let's start there.
Let's start preparing. So we can start thinking about mushroom hunting in May. So that's coming up. And so this is going to be a focus on a couple of mushrooms you can find in the beginning of the spring, real spring coming.
And we've seen this next slide before, but tell us what sorts of tools and prep should we do?
So it's nice to be really prepared. I don't want you to just be pulling off the side of the road and jumping out into the woods. You need to know your location. You need to have some sort of backup plan if something were to happen. I know we always say mushroom hunters don't tell anyone where you are, but you need to give someone some sort of information just for safety purposes. And check your areas. You know, there's some really good sites, but Vilas County has, and Oneida County, they have links to public lands, and in the state of Wisconsin, you can hunt for mushrooms on state land. So.
And I'd be fine just grabbing a plastic bag, right? And putting all my mushrooms in there, Emily May?
Thank you for asking that. It's a really good question. It's taboo. And we talked a little bit about the mushroom in one of the beginning episodes of how it drops the spores. So the mushroom needs to breathe. So you're going to want to make sure that you're going to have something that's porous, open. Also, because if that mushroom gets wet and sticky and mushy, it's not going to be good.
And you have one of these here, right?
This is actually a really important article too, but this is for mosquitoes.
Oh, jeez. It could also carry it, right?
You've always, as a mushroom hunter, is always resourceful. You use whatever you got, and if it's your shirt on your back, you're going to do it. But another option is just these little nylon bags. See, they're porous. We use them for vegetables, or just a weaved basket that you can find. Golden Harvest sells them too.
So just something that it can't be plastic, probably not one of those paper bags either, just something that has holes in it.
So once you do collect the mushroom, you can store it in like a wax paper bag and make sure it's dry, and then you want to store it right in the fridge right away if you're not going to consume it, because remember our acronym MUSH ID before consume, and it's really important. Even the best mushrooms can make you sick if you don't prepare them or store them correctly.
Okay, I did not know you had to refrigerate mushrooms.
Yeah.
Well, let's take a break, Emily May. After the break, we'll talk about some specific mushrooms that we might be able to harvest in a month or two. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Every parent I talk to wants to be sure they're doing all they can to protect their kids from COVID-19. As a Wisconsin pediatrician, I tell them the COVID-19 vaccine for kids has been thoroughly tested and is proven to be safe for kids 5 and up. Getting your child a COVID-19 vaccine is the most effective way to help kids stay safe and in school. Ask your child's doctor what they think.
Northland Basement Systems is the all things basementy company. Basement waterproofing, basement finishing, basement structural repair, humidity and mold control, and nasty crawl spaces too. When it comes to basement solutions, nobody does it better than we do. Since 1991, homeowners just like you in the Northland have trusted Northland Basement Systems for all things basementy in their homes. Call Northland Basement Systems today to schedule a free home evaluation.
Menards has what you need to create your ideal yard. Stop in and save 11% on everything. There's no limit to what you can create with landscape blocks. 12-inch smooth patio blocks are $125 each after 11% rebate. Keep a variety of birds coming back to your feeder with KT Seed and Suet Wild Bird Food Blend. It attracts twice as many birds as black oil sunflower without the mess. A bag is $11.99 after 11% rebate. Now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Here, there are no limits.
to your potential, to your options, to our reach. It's all limitless. For added flexibility, for more affordability, for increased employability. Because by removing limits, your future becomes limitless.
We're back on Up North at 4 again with Emily May King. She is our mushroom expert from the Minocqua area. So Emily May, before we get into some types of mushrooms, I want to go back to when you say that you can pick a mushroom on public land. It just seems so wrong to me. Like, you're not supposed to pick rocks or things like that. Why should we pick mushrooms?
Well, that's a good question, and I think that's something with ethics and moral, but you don't ever want to take everything. And that's a philosophy that you should probably spread in all of your life, but I never take every single mushroom. But the good news is that it doesn't disrupt the mushroom organism underground. So the mycelium network is stable regardless of the mushroom. The mushroom's job truly is to spread spores to another location. So when you're carrying your basket and you're bouncing around, most likely the spores are falling out, and you're probably serving a purpose to help spread that mushroom. At least that's my take on it.
And those mycelium networks are going to just sprout up more mushrooms,
They will. The hyphae will begin, and depending on what type of mushroom it is, we talked about the 3 different types. A lot of them really support forests and can really attach to the networks down below with the trees.
All right, let's get into some mushroom types here. We have a
do
picture of oyster mushrooms.
Oysters.
Tell us about oyster mushrooms.
I love oysters. They're really easy to identify. I'm going to use my sniffer a lot when I'm hunting for mushrooms. And I've got a specimen here that's dried, and you can see the underside has got these closely spaced gills. And one of the tools you might want to bring on the field is a hand lens to kind of take a look at it. But the oysters always grow from dead or dying trees, all deciduous trees, white or creamy colored, and they smell like anise. So this one still smells like it, but they're easy to identify. Usually when I'm teaching classes, I teach at Nicolet, I always say stay away from white mushrooms. So if you can stay away from my white mushrooms, you usually are safe. This is the only exception, and it grows on trees. And the oyster is delicious, cooked, sauteed. You can dry it, freeze it. It's delicious. You want to make sure you fully cook it, and like I said, store it properly.
This next one, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but dryads.
Dryad saddle. Okay. So pheasant back. And this one is kind of like the consolation prize when you're morel hunting. They come out about the same time. We're going to start mushroom hunting when the temperatures are 40 degrees at night, or maybe even a little warmer. And the dryad saddle pheasant back is it grows on dead or dying trees, and it is saprotrophic, and it's better smaller because as they get bigger, they're a little tougher. And I think they're pretty good mixed in meals and whatnot.
Well, let's talk about morels now. These are the diamonds, right?
They are. They are sought after, and like I had said before, yes, they grow around here. You can see my son. He's the lucky one who found those morels, and it's amazing. They are mycorrhizal. There are some notes that say that they possibly are saprotrophic as well, but
I didn't understand those 2 words.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So mycorrhizal is when we talked about that wood wide web. The tree and the plants all go through a symbiosis network, and mycorrhizal mushrooms usually are intertwined, and they support all the different ecosystem or habitat by creating those connections, communications, if you will, and even resources with trees and plants. So the mycorrhizal mushroom is really great, and usually says that it's a very healthy, robust, undisrupted forest if you've got mushrooms.
Well, we just have about 30 seconds, so I want to quickly talk about reishi now.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about those?
Ganoderma tusunga is all around the world. The Ganoderma, this reishi, which you might have heard of, is considered the immortality mushroom, really widely known in Chinese ancient medicine, and a great sought-after mushroom. This is one that's considered medicinal. You do have to heat it up for its medicinal properties. It's not like an edible one that you can just cook and munch on. It's more for tinctures and medicines. And I'd say get some resources so you can start doing your own research. This would be great for medicinal mushrooms. Our late Cora Mullen wrote this book. She is North State Mycology Club. She was the founder and is not with us anymore, but this is really directed towards local mushrooms in our area, and then start getting connected. Go with someone, make a hobby out of it.
Fantastic.
Bring your kids.
Well, I'm really excited for the April edition of this because we are going to really be gearing up
Let's
for
get
mushroom
out in the
hunting
woods.
season. That is
Who
true.
wants
We
to
should
come?
do a segment out in the woods. That's a great idea.
Wow,
well,
great.
Emily May, thank you again for joining us on
Yeah,
North Half
thanks
4.
for having me. Take care.
We'll
Bye.
be right back after the break. I'm going to talk to Conrad about the weather. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Attention homeowners, we started out with 50, then 30, and now we reached the final days looking for 20 homeowners to participate in our home energy assessment program. Mad City Home Improvement wants to help you lower your heating bills with E-Shield attic insulation. America's leader in energy reflective technology, the attic energy barrier that qualifies for a tax credit this year. Call now, final days. 20 homeowners who participate in our home energy assessment program will receive special savings. For starters, free installation of E-Shield attic insulation. 18 months, no interest, no payments, senior military discounts. We'll even compensate you for your time. Call during this program to get a free $50 Amazon gift card with estimate. Visit MadCityInsulation.com and throughout north central Wisconsin, call 715-803-6722. That's 715-803-6722.
E-Shield insulation in the attic. I think that combined has saved us now 30 to almost 40% on our utility bills. It's incredible.
Call Mad City Home Improvement for E-Shield attic energy barrier and increase the life of your heating and cooling system by over 20%. E-Shield eliminates cold drafts in your attic, and it works well along with blown-in attic insulation to help ease the pinch of higher energy costs by giving your home an energy upgrade. Final days, 20 homeowners who participate in our home energy assessment program will receive special savings. Free installation of E-Shield attic insulation. 18 months, no interest, no payments. And if you call in now, we'll compensate you for your time, and you get a $50 Amazon gift card with estimate. Visit MadCityInsulation.com and throughout north central Wisconsin, call 715-803-6722. That's 715-803-6722.
Welcome to the family, Conrad. Can you explain this photo to us?
Yes, so I was actually on vacation in Alaska 3 weeks ago. So right when I started here, I was here for 2 weeks training, and then I went to Alaska. It was a beautiful place out there. You know, we saw northern lights, we went dog sledding, we went skiing, we went, on a plane through the mountains, but lots of snow up there.
I bet.
In Talkeetna, Alaska, there was 5 feet of snow.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, I myself am done with snow, at least here in the Northwoods. Are we going to be getting any more our way?
Yes, so it is spring, but hey, winter's still knocking on that door. So yes, we're getting a little bit more snow as our radar does show pretty clear conditions right now, but the little clouds in Alberta, Canada, that's actually our next developing system. So a lot of messy weather incoming. Freezing rain, sleet, snow. So it's going to be another one.
Okay, we'll hear from Conrad at 5 and 6 tonight. We'll see you then.